In today's video, we will look at a couple of problems associated with the dynamics of circular motion. Problem 1. An object is moving counterclockwise in a circle of radius r as shown at constant speed U. So let's assume the object is marked with that blue dot. The center of the circle is at the origin, right there. At time t equals to 0 seconds, the particle is at r0. That means at this point. Show that its acceleration is given by this expression. If you note it carefully, this refers to the centripetal acceleration. So let's begin with the coordinates. This object at that location would have x coordinate and the y coordinate. Now let's determine the x coordinate. X coordinate is a projection of that radius at that point. And since we have a triangle like that, this is r, this is theta, and this is x. So you see x is r cosine theta. Theta is a function of time because the object is moving in a circular motion. Now if you take that the angular frequency for this motion to be omega, then theta can be written as omega times time. So we can take and rewrite the theta as omega t. Now let's do the y coordinate. Y coordinate is right there. So you have again a triangle like that. So this is y, this is r, and this is theta, 90 degrees. So this must be 90 minus theta. So from trigonometry, you see y equals to r sine theta, or sine omega t. As you can see, this length over the hypotenuse equals sine of theta. Now let's do the components of velocity u. So this u has two components. One is the y component, u sub y, and the other one is heading like that, the x component. The x component can be determined from the x, which is a function of time, through the usual derivative, dx dt. And when you take the derivative of x with respect to t, you see you get minus omega r sine omega t. When you take the derivative of cosine, you get minus sine. Now let's go back to the diagram. U is the tangential velocity. Omega is the angular velocity. Those two are related. U equals omega times r. So you can also write the x component of the velocity as minus u sine omega t. Now let's do the y component of the velocity, and that is just dy dt, y being that. So when you take the derivative of y with respect to time, you get r omega cosine omega t, a simple derivative. When you take the derivative of sine, you get positive cosine. And in terms of capital U, it is just capital U times cosine omega t. Now finally let's do the acceleration. The x component of the acceleration is given by the time derivative of the x component of the velocity, namely this. So when you take the derivative of that function with respect to time, you get minus u omega cosine omega t. Since u equals omega times r, you can rewrite it in terms of omega and r as omega squared r cosine omega t. Now let's do the y component of the acceleration, and that is duy dt. So uy being that. When you take the derivative of cosine, you get minus sine, so it's minus u omega sine omega t. Since u is omega r, you can rewrite it as minus omega squared r sine omega t. You want to determine the acceleration, a, and that equals ax squared plus ay squared, the magnitude of the acceleration using the components. So let's substitute the expressions. Square of this will be omega to the power of 4 r squared cosine squared omega t plus, and then square of that would be omega power 4 r squared sine squared omega t. Note, you have to take the square root. You can take these two terms out of that square root sign. Square root of that would be omega squared r square root cosine squared plus sine squared, cosine squared plus sine squared. I'm ignoring the argument omega t, it's pretty straightforward. So cosine squared plus sine squared equals to 1, square root of that is 1, so you get omega squared times r being the acceleration. Since we know omega times r is that tangential speed, substituting omega for u over r, you get u over r times r. Don't forget to square that. And the final answer is u squared over r, as what we want to prove here. Problem 2. A rigid wheel of radius r is rolling without slipping on a horizontal surface. The plane of the wheel is vertical. The axis of the wheel is moving horizontally with speed v relative to the surface. So the axis is right there, coming out of the plane. Let v to be in a positive x direction. So this is the y-axis, that is the x-axis, and the axis is actually in the direction of the positive z-axis. Alpha is the angle, this alpha here, is the angle through which the wheel has rotated since a certain point Q on the rim was in contact with the ground. Find the instantaneous velocity u of this point Q in terms of v and alpha. Let's sketch the axis on this diagram. So that is your x-axis, and the y-axis is vertically up like that, following that scheme. Now let's look at the x-coordinate of that point Q. So that is the continuation of axis to the negative side. The x-coordinate is right here. So taking the snapshot, what you have is a right angle triangle. This is the x-axis, this is the radius of that wheel, a right angle triangle, and that angle right there is 90 minus alpha. So immediately using trigonometry, you see x equals r cosine of that. So cosine of that is just sine of alpha. Now, it appears on the negative side of the x-axis, so you can put a negative sign there. Do not forget that this wheel is rolling rightward. So the x-axis must include a translational term that takes into account the displacement in x-axis or along the x direction due to that rolling motion. And in time t, the rigid wheel would have moved translationally a distance of v times t to the right. So we have to add this term there in order to get a full description of the x-coordinate of that point Q. Now let's look at the y-coordinate. The y-coordinate is given by that number. So again, you have the same right angle triangle. This is r. This angle here is 90 minus alpha, right angle, and this is y. So you see y over r equals the sine of this angle or cosine of alpha. Also, keep in mind that y appears below the origin, so you must put negative sign in front of that expression for y, so minus r cosine alpha. You don't have any translational term attached to the y coordinate because the motion of that rigid wheel is entirely to the right along the x-axis, so there is no such translational motion along the y-axis. So let's write the expression for the position vector of that point Q. So that is just xi hat plus y j hat. So x is minus r sine alpha plus vt I hat plus j hat. So minus r cosine alpha j hat. Keep in mind, as the rolling persists, alpha is a function of time, and that is given by the angular speed for that rolling motion times time. Now let's do the expression for the velocity. So u, that is just dr dt. The time rate of position vector would give you the velocity, the tangential velocity, that is. So let's do the x component first. The first term is minus r sine alpha, so minus r is constant, it comes for the right. Alpha is a function of time, so when you take the time derivative of sine alpha by using the chain rule, we can rewrite it as dd alpha sine alpha times d alpha dt. d alpha dt from here is just omega, so you can write that as omega. This will give you cosine alpha. So substituting everything, you get minus r omega, that term, times cosine alpha from there. The second term is easy. It is explicitly dependent on time, so it will just give you v. When you take the derivative of vt with respect to t, you get v. So the I component or the x component is solved. Now let's do the y component. So the minus r will just follow. When you take the time derivative of cosine alpha, knowing alpha has such a dependence on time, you'll get d alpha cosine alpha times d alpha dt, which is omega. So this will become omega. This one is just minus sine alpha. So putting all this in this bracket, you get minus r omega minus sine alpha j hat. So let's try to simplify the instantaneous velocity u. So that term, if you notice, r times omega is just v. This is true if or when the wheel rolls without slipping. The center of mass velocity equals the radius of the wheel times the angular speed. So in this case, this is that, which is that. So we can substitute the r omega with v. The same thing can be done here, v. So we can rewrite the expression for u in a following manner. Capital V, 1 minus cosine alpha I hat plus v sine alpha j hat. Note this minus will kill that minus. So that is the final answer to this problem. Thank you for watching.